Hi, my name is Sarah Binney, and I'm going to be presenting my biomimicry project. I chose to do a children's book. I'm going to just do a brief overview of the book as a whole, and then I'll have all of the pages as slides later on in case anybody wants to look at anything in particular. I titled the book Professor Thaddeus's Guide to Biomimicry, and I opened the book with just a brief overview of biomimicry in a child-friendly manner and an open page spread showing some of the things that we're going to be talking about later on. I start the book off by talking about Earth's original architects, bees and hexagons, which is a clever design used to use the least amount of wax to hold the most amount of honey. And we've used that to create very strong structures used in soles of your shoes and in airplanes. Beavers in dams, how those have helped clean water and support local ecosystems. And termites and air conditioning. Termite mounds ventilation systems we've been using to create buildings that will use less energy to keep people more comfortable. I go on to talk about wasps and paper making, spiders and their webs. We are using spider webs not only in labs so that we can use it for medical uses, but also to save birds. Butterflies and their wings for never fading paint, and eco screens, phones and tablets that will glow without backlighting, and the usage of moth eyes, how we can implement the tiny pillars in their eyes for camera lenses. I go on to talk about echolocation and how we've used that to invent sonar and ultrasound. And with whales and the tiny bumps and ridges along their flippers and how we have put that on wind turbines to spin more efficiently. Sharks and their dermal denticles. Dermal denticles are antibacterial, and we have used them to create antibacterial hospital surfaces and bandages. Back in 2008, they were also used by Speedo in swimsuits for the Olympics, which were later banned because they turned out to be too efficient, too good at their job. And then towards the end of the book, I close out just talking about plants in general, mangrove roots with coastal protection, lotus flower and their self-cleaning antibacterial, pine cones with adaptive building materials, bamboos as a strong structure, burr seeds and Velcro, and the vines, the cucumber tendrils, for aiding in robotics. At the end of the book, I close out with a glossary of any words that people might need to double check or maybe not understand with context. I then have my work cited, and then that is just the back of the book. That is the whole of my presentation. I'm going to now just go through page by page if anyone wants to take a closer look at anything in particular, or just read all of the things that I have accumulated on all of the pages.